there. Doing some crop spraying this morning. Spraying peas with regular one. Basically just desiccating for harvest. Telling me what to do for the most part, so it's just simple hands off most of the time. The robot does it all. And we're back on track. And the sprayers are controlled by the computer too. They come on in sections on the boom. Each boom has 4 sections, so it can decide where to spray and where not to based on where I've already been. Pretty cool though, nonetheless. And that's each wand sprayer boom section. There's a total of 5 of them. And with these buttons I can raise the boom on the right side if I need to raise it up or lower it down. And we'll put her back down there. We don't want to spray the air. It's kind of just jostling around to keep the booms level. The computer used to look after it, but that module kind of blew up, I guess, and now are forced to do it manually. It's one of the few things I do have to do manually. And this middle button just raises the whole boom. Yeah, basic stuff. We're expecting to develop a harvest in about 3 to 4 days after spraying this. Stuff is for defecating, so it basically just dries it out. It's not like the other stuff, it doesn't kill it. Like a lot of times you spray Roundup, which just kills everything, including the weeds, and then you go in and harvest 10 days later. This stuff is just for desiccating, I keep saying defecating, shitting on the crop. What I'm working on now is just a small 70-acre. Peas. Fortunately, it looks like a lot of them are already popped. The sun tends to heat them and pops them open. The peas end up laying on the ground. They pop out of their shells. And based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like probably half of them have already popped out. So I think this field is going to be much of a harvest, unfortunately. Well, that's the way it goes. Timing is critical. It's rare that you can ever time things perfectly. Especially when you have multiple fields and conditions are different in each field. Because out here you tend to get rain that'll hit one spot but avoid the other area. So you get a crop that's 10 miles away that's completely different than the one that you're harvesting right now. It makes things a bit trickier. That's pretty exciting stuff, man. The computer's following the red line there. It's steering for me. And when I get to the end, I press that little pedal right there and it disengages the automatic steering. And then I take over. You can see I start to run over my existing track, and then the sprayer will automatically turn off each of the sections as needed so that I don't overspray too much. It's a pretty foggy day today. Fairly cool. This morning was only 5 degrees this morning when I got up, and quite foggy. Well, we're just about the end of the track here, so I will press the foot button. Oh yeah, I gotta like that sound. And manually steer around, watching the boom doesn't hit the woods. Let it go around. That white thing there is the GPS receiver. Thing works on GPS. Well, I'm sure this isn't too exciting, but I'll give you an idea of what goes on when we spray. That big ass tank behind me, you can see it there. That thing carries 700 gallons. We tend to pre-mix what we put in there. And then, yeah, just go out and spray it. you don't take much more than an hour and a half, 2 hours, and you have to refill, depending on the product. Sometimes you spray a lot more stuff. It takes longer to apply it. Alright, I guess that'll do for now. Looks like I got some curious guests there to see what the hell is going on out here. A couple of bear, looks like. Yeah, a brown bear and a black bear. Well, that's my excitement for the day. Alrighty, I am done spraying this crop. Time to go get some lunch. Just in case you're interested, thought I'd show some boom folding action. Gonna put these things away, just basically press the bottom button there and do this for each arm. And you see, hydraulic cylinder out there folds the arm up. And once she's locked in, you can do two at the same time, but in this case I just thought I'd do one at a time to show you, whoever you are. I know it's like watching paint dry. That's pretty quick. There we go. Now we'll just make sure the boom is fully raised, and it is, and then we'll bring them in. Bring them in a certain way, a certain distance, and then raise them both up again. See, they're going up. The idea is to get them in the harnesses here. Okay. Bring them both in again. And I just dab the switches there a little bit so they don't smash into it. There we go. And we'll lower them both down at the same time. And that's it. We are now stowed and ready to go. The foot ladder comes out whenever I put the parking brake on down here. You can see that thing will go down so you can get out. In case you were thinking you need a ladder for this thing, you almost do. But there you go. We'll head back to the shop there. It's a fairly short drive, actually. This thing is a 6-speed transmission. You can see the little gear indicator there. Yeah, I'm set to auto spray. We got to turn that off. We're making a mess here. Turn the boom off. There, that should be good. Should be okay now. And that's the neighboring wheat field, which is ours. We'll be harvesting that stuff pretty soon. Gear shifters on the back of this, you press up. This thing is kind of like a fighter jet controller, but nothing like a fighter jet, of course. And we're in 6th gear and cruising along. And doing about 25 miles an hour. She'll go. Such strange looks from people who are driving along the highway looking at you. What the hell is that thing? Because you're so high up with great big freaking skinny tall wheels. They're doing construction work there in the culvert. Trying to keep things from getting wet and puddles. Whole new section of paved road here, which is nice. So like 33 kilometers they did all in one shot here. It took them probably a month to do it either. Pretty quick. I'm gonna chuck our hazards on here. Turning just right up there, so I won't bother continuing. This is kind of distracted driving, if there is such a thing. Probably the coolest thing I've ever driven, for sure. Well, I guess anytime you see a puddle of liquid under your vehicle is not usually a good thing. I think it's antifreeze. So I kind of broke down on the side of the highway waiting for a tow. Has to do some crop spraying. And this is what I end up with. The fun of farming, I guess. Beautiful day for it though. Fellow was to break down. Oh hell yeah.